Ladies and gentlemen, welcome to the Fintech Friday show, and a very special show because this is going to be the last time that we're all together before SoFi earnings. Tuesday morning, 6:55 a.m. We are going to be here. That's Eastern Standard Time, by the way. 6:55. We are going live. I want to start it off.
Whoa, what time?
6:55 a.m. Eastern Standard Time.
I have to get up at 6:30 in the morning for this?
Yeah.
Get over it, dude.
Oh my God.
You're a
I gotta get up at before 5.
Dude,
Yeah.
what is Noto thinking? He's on the West Coast. Like, come on.
Doesn't Noto have to wake up like even earlier than that?
Yeah.
He's
Like,
gotta
it's
wake up
4
11.
a.m. there.
Probably doesn't
When
go
they
to
release
sleep.
the earnings. It's 5 a.m. when they start their call.
Yeah, I don't think he gets in and he wakes up 5 minutes before and just says, "All right, let's do it."
You think they just crank all nighters, take tequila shots, and they're like, "All right, we're staying up until earnings, boys."
I'm actually pretty surprised that more West Coast companies don't just say, let's just do the evening.
I thought you knew, Steve. We do it every quarter.
Yeah, I've never streamed it with you guys.
That's
It would
fair.
be interesting. I don't know if this would change it, but like now that I'm thinking about it, just random thought, like once you have 24-hour markets, like whether it even matters anymore when in the day companies report earnings, because like it's not tethered to 9 to 4.
Yeah, I think there will still be traditional time. There may be some regulation. Maybe you guys know that you can't report during normal hours for American
Yeah, but what is
companies.
normal hours if it's...
Yeah, well, I think the big shift might be when there's more that actually runs on the blockchain itself. That's when maybe there's less of a need to actually have that reporting structure the way we have it. So
Yeah, it's so weird, right?
it is. Yeah, you can get glimpses of that from like certain companies that have a lot of their action running on the blockchain. So like Bitmine's one of those, or not Figma. Figure has a lot of their stuff that just runs on the blockchain, so you can actually see exactly what they're doing when they're doing it. If we get to a point where a lot of companies do that, like SoFi, maybe we don't need earnings calls every quarter.
Yeah. Well, I think hopefully they don't go to semi-annual reporting. I think that would suck
It would.
for retail investors especially.
And us.
It does look like it's going that direction. I mean, honestly.
Yeah.
We'll see. But do you guys just want to jump right into predictions? I mean, why tease it off?
Yeah.
Do you guys want to jump in? Yeses
good
across
with
the
that.
board? I think I've seen a lot of your predictions, but I haven't seen Steve's. I'd love to start out the tradition with new members on SoFi. I think I said 980 or 970,000. Let me actually bring up my numbers.
While you're pulling that up, is this net or gross? These are new members, so gross?
Yeah, I usually just do. I mean, either one. There's not much churn, but we can say net new members.
Net, okay.
I always find churn to be so small that I don't really think about it all too much.
Sorry, you think 980 net. So you're talking about 1 million members gross, or what? Like, because if you're talking about net 980, it's not the right way you present that data. Because
some quarters we see churn, some quarters we don't. Like
No. What I'm saying is, you, Tanner, create content, and as the proxy, you create hype and buzz. And if you were at 980 net,
I don't create hype and buzz.
That YouTube took you down for that reason, sir.
No. No, I'm just telling the truth out here. And you know what's the funny thing too? If you were to go back and look at our predictions, SoFi actually blows away our predictions most quarters as well. They definitely did last quarter for sure. Like we weren't even right.
They smoked us.
Yeah, they smoked us. That's not creating hype and buzz. Like they created the hype.
My point is, it's like you missed an opportunity to say 1 million members. That's all I'm saying.
Yeah, sorry. I'm trying to bring up my actual prediction here. I said 980,000 quarter-over-quarter members. Sorry,
So
we
that's a
want to
million
go.
members because you expect 20,000 of churn. That's what I'm hearing.
Sure. Roy,
Yeah, I put 960, but that's new, so 945. I'll say about 15 million churn, same as last quarter.
Tavis,
For members, I put 955. And
net.
No, gross. And net, I'll say
Okay, let's just go gross then. It's you guys are making this so
960.
confusing.
okay, still 955.
Steve, how many new members is SoFi going to see?
1,049,000.
When did you come up with that number?
It's been percolating in the mind. I went through the deck. They seem really bullish on a lot of things. We're going to say this could be the first million quarter.
Steve, they say your mic is low. I don't know why the comment.
Really?
Oh, now it's high for sure.
Can we find somewhere in the middle?
It should be
I love
fine.
how you guys always treat Steve like he's an old man.
Like,
I feel so bad for you on these streams, Steve. I'm always like, dude, give the guy
1,049,000. This is the first million member quarter.
Is that gross or net, Steve?
You decide.
Okay.
All right. I've got 1,010,000 gross and 990,000 net. And if you can pull up the thing that I'm sharing that you pulled up for a second. So this is Tanner's data from I just took a screen cap and stole it because you wouldn't share the data with me.
So
You're a
if
jerk.
I'm wrong, it's Tanner's fault.
No,
Yeah.
I'm saying that like if I had the raw data, I could probably get more granular, but I don't. Anyway, so this is just a trend line. This is where on the x-axis you've got downloads per day from Sensor Tower, and then on the y-axis is new members. And so you can see anyway, for people who care about statistics, an R squared of 0.91 is really high. What that basically means for people who don't do statistics is that 91%, like you can explain 91% of the change in new members by the downloads per day. And so anyway, that's a really high correlation. If you assume that this correlation is correct for Q3, you would end up with 1,054,000 new members, which is mine's slightly lower than that. But after Tanner presented this data, I was thinking somewhere around 940,000. And then when I saw this, I increased that a little bit. I don't think there's a chance based on the data that we get less than 960,000 new members, which is higher than my original guess would have been. Anyway, you can stop sharing.
Yeah.
You don't think there's a chance?
No, I don't think it would have to be a lower kind of, if you take it as like a conversion rate versus the number of downloads that Sensor Tower says, like even if you go if you went with the absolute lowest number that they've had, which was like 0.83 or something, which was last quarter, just to be clear. But I think with that one, it was like 980.
Yeah. I put it into the lowest possible. I think it was like 0.8 conversion rate or something like this. And still we were 960,000 or something. Like I don't know. I think we're going to be way more bullish. And SoFi has been growing so linearly that if you look at their scale, like I honestly see how a lot of people get to, 930,000, 940,000 type numbers. But I think this is a breakout quarter and it'll be exciting to see. Now, it's going to be a super sad day if we're all wrong and somehow Sensor Tower, like out of the cohorts of customers, because they're not getting real downloads. They're taking cohorts of customers and applying an assumption to that. So if somehow their data was so off and the conversion rate somehow comes in extremely low, then we could all be wrong. But
even then, I still expect easily over 900, right? Like 940 was my prediction even before seeing the data.
Seasonality helps. Quarter 3 is always strong. The football stadium
Q3 is always
key
super
driver
strong.
there. Quarter four also very good, and you can see usually when it's over that trend line, it's quarter three or quarter four. So I think next quarter is when we see that million, but we'll come close. And either way, it's going to be a great quarter.
Yeah, Tanner, how's the data looking since the new quarter? It's nuts, right?
The Q4,
Like the October numbers so far.
Yeah, it looks good. I don't get I'm not getting daily updates. I only have to the 14th.
Uh-huh.
But it did look faster than Q3. I think something like 280,000. Here, wait, let me check. 280,000 downloads happened just in the first 14 days or something like crazy. So that's very exciting.
Yeah, I think if this quarter isn't the first million new member quarter, I think Q4 is definitely going to be it.
Oh, yeah,
Again, based on the stuff that we've seen so far, things might change, but if trends continue the way they are.
Sorry,
Yeah,
Roy, you're at 960, Roy?
Yeah, 960.
Okay.
Are you tracking this, Tevis?
Yeah, so what I'm doing is I'm just throwing this on a spreadsheet and just for funsies.
Yeah.
Hold on, let me maybe share my screen for just a second. Because here we go. Okay, cool. Added Kyle and Neil here, and because they also had predictions online. So I'm you guys keep going, and then
Well, wait a sec though. You're going a little forward here.
yeah, no, that's
What are you
fine.
doing?
We're gonna break it out, I think, by product segment and whatever. So I'm gonna add a whole bunch of extra rows there, so we can see at the very end.
Tevis, by the way, did you know that Evan has come to me 3 games in a row, and I'm shooting 100 right now on which teams are going to win?
That's great, man. That's great.
So,
Keep it up.
You know, we
Do
did
you
the
know
hat
what-
trick. Let's see if I can continue.
What
Do you know what-
sport is
Yeah.
the Knicks?
That's basketball.
Nice. Look at you.
Yeah. Then they asked me.
So impressive, Tanner.
Then they asked me Vikings versus Chargers. I said Chargers.
Oh,
We took
That's
that.
because of Justin Herbert. Admit it.
that's too deep, Chris. That's too.
No.
He's-
Well.
No,
be
because
honest,
he's sponsored by SoFi. That's why Tanner knows him. That's the only football player that Tanner knows.
well, to assume that I knew that he played for the Chargers is a crazy.
Oh, that's a
assumption.
good point. That's a good
Yeah.
point.
What about the other guy that's a football guy that SoFi sponsors?
Josh Allen.
And who does he play for?
No idea. But
Oh.
I did know that the Chargers, if I'm not mistaken, play at SoFi Stadium.
If
You
you're
are
not
not mistaken. Good job.
Yeah, so
Buddy.
that's what made me think that was the team I wanted, because my connection to that team is SoFi.
There you go.
Can you guys hear me?
We can
Yes.
hear you.
Yeah.
Okay. Did you know that Robinhood put MMA on prediction market now?
No.
It's up. Tevis, it's
It's
up.
up.
I checked. I sent the picture to Tanner. I tried calling you, but you didn't pick up.
I was sleeping, dude. But I'm not even in the States, so it wouldn't even matter for me. But
Tom
that's
Aspinall.
great that he is in
Todd
the-
Aspinall is going to walk through him tomorrow.
Oh yeah. You think first round, Steve?
I said first round last week. I still think it.
Yeah. Yeah, it's gonna be
Versus
fun.
who, Steve?
Cyril gone.
Okay.
Are we doing the thing, Steve?
It's at 2 p.m. Do you want to do that?
Well, no. I mean, aren't we gonna do it for like the prelims and whatnot, or you don't care?
It's at 2 p.m. Like it's
Yeah.
early.
I'll be awake by then.
I'll do it if you want to do it for the prelims. Sure, absolutely.
All right, we'll talk.
We'll talk after. And then we'll do our tier list tomorrow night.
Revenue.
We want to do revenue. All right.
What
Overall
do you guys
revenue?
think?
Or are we going to go by
Yeah, growth per net.
Are we adjusting this revenue?
We are, in fact, actually.
Do
Yes.
we want to do segments and then revenue, or revenue and then segments?
I would say let's like break it. Let's do products like before, and then we'll go like product, or we don't care.
So before
don't-
we
I
give
think
the
we all
numbers
have
on
the same-
products, sorry,
What?
before we give the numbers on products, I think so. I think that SoFi is trying to push multi-products with SoFi Plus. How well do you think they're like just generally? How well does everybody think they're doing that? Like, I don't know if it'll have enough in this quarter where it'll make a big difference on like products per member, but I do think that this is kind of a big push of what they're trying to do.
Yeah. I've been saying for a while that I think 2025 will go down as the year of SoFi Plus. And I think SoFi Plus is going to breed a lot of cross-sell. So I do think cross-sell is going to accelerate in this quarter and then accelerate again next quarter as well. But just to keep it simple, I think it was 1.46 times products per member, but I actually think it could be higher than that this quarter.
Yeah, I actually see it higher too. Just because I'm a SoFi user, I get all the notifications, and man, they are extra annoying and extra common this quarter. So that'll translate to some extra people that are using just one or two products getting on that third. Plus, they have more product offerings too. So
I mean,
1.5 or just very close wouldn't surprise me.
1.46 is still higher, so that is still a quarter-over-quarter improvement. Like, tweaking that ratio by just a little bit, it's like millions extra products. So I don't necessarily think that it's going to be that steep of an improvement, but that's one of those numbers where I'm super happy to be proven wrong on.
Yeah. I don't think that we, I think we're all going to kind of be in the same area for products. I don't really want to go too granularly. Okay, I'm going to move on. Let's go into segment level revenue. Then, does everyone have it broken down into segment level in terms of lending, financial services, tech platform revenue?
Why do I feel like we've never done this before, but I know we have?
We do it every time.
Like, we do this every time, and it feels so new that we're talking about every freaking segment and every little thing.
I think usually you're not with us. For
I may not be.
So
That's mainly who I was asking the question for.
I
I'm
probably
pretty sure
skipped
the rest
this for this reason.
Yeah. And if you don't have individual segments, I think the first time I did it, I didn't feel that confident, so I just went with overall. That's perfectly fine. But
Tanner, the chat wants to know if you're drunk.
Yeah, I know. People are, huh? Okay, I will go first, and then let's go from my right and then down. For lending only, I have 476.5 million.
and a
Right.
half. Okay. Well, 479.
79.
We're very close.
Devi,
Sorry, I'm also taking notes. I have 482.
482.
Steve, are you going to give one or should I go?
I have 478.
485.
We won't ask how long you had it.
I always am the most bullish, I think, on the lending segment generally.
Steve, you should give us your full revenue numbers, and then we should add up the segments to see if they add to the full.
Somebody do the math.
That would be pretty bad if I don't have my three segments match the freaking revenue I'm about to say.
We're much
Oh, I didn't even think of that.
we're much tighter than last time. Last time there was a pretty big spread. This time you were the lowest, Tanner, at like what was it, 478 or something?
I don't
What did you
remember,
say?
but I was not expecting as large of a bump on lending. I was expecting a lot of it to go through the loan platform business. Now, I think they are still going to grow on lending, obviously. Tangible book
Well,
value
especially-
increase, dilution. I mean, they're going to grow it.
Yeah, the fair value, I'm interested to see, because they do try to hedge out some of that fair value stuff, or they try to hedge it all out. But if I were at SoFi, I wouldn't try to hedge it all out, because as rates come down, fair values go up, all else being equal. And so at this point, your hedging is only going to hurt. Well, if you overly hedge, it would hurt. So like if I were going to like err on the side, which side I would err on? I would err on the side of maybe not hedging quite enough if I were SoFi. But generally speaking, again, all else being equal, fair values go up. That's going to boost lending revenue. Obviously, they've got like they just raised a bunch of capital, and so it means that they can grow the book.
Just on the hedging part, didn't Chris Hager say that they make no assumptions there and they will always hedge
You
regardless?
mean Chris
they
Lapointe?
Yes. Yeah, Chris Lapointe.
Yeah, he said that they'll do what they can to hedge out all interest rate movements.
It's like Roy and Alex Chris. I like there's just they're two brothers. Like I don't know. I get them confused. But yeah. Okay, sorry. Did you say your number, Chris?
Yeah, I said 485.
485. Wow. Did you hit the top for most bullish?
Yes, barely.
It's the fair
but
value
everyone's like,
adjustment
I
that
think
you're-
yours was the lowest, right? And you were at 470 what?
476 and a half.
476. So we're all within like 10 million. That's actually pretty tight.
Yeah, and just so our audience knows, I think for all of us, Steve may be trying to figure out his numbers on the fly. If he didn't break them down, that's fine. No shade on Steve, but we don't look at other people's numbers, and calculate and adjust. We come up with our own and what we think, and so yeah, it's interesting that we're that close. That's actually spooky.
Financial services revenue, I have 419 million.
428.
Heavy.
Financial services revenue, I have 428.
Whoa.
Wait, what did you
Ding,
have?
ding,
right?
ding, ding. The price is
428.
right.
Yeah, 428.
All right, high five. Let's see. Yeah.
Well, Roy, mine came out like 4 days before you. So what's that about? Nobody copying nobody?
No, believe me, when I see your guys', I'm like, oh, it's out. I don't want to look at that. So I do after when I have all my numbers, because I'm like, if there is something where I'm wildly off, I'm going to take a second look. But that wasn't the case this time.
That's funny, buddy.
Steve?
Come back to me. I'm going through the deck.
Steve's still adding up his numbers.
Don't forget that includes the loan platform business, not the servicing revenue. Chris?
I have 414, so I'm lower than you guys.
Bear.
Pussy. No, I'm kidding.
I have
why
never
are
been
you-
accused of being a SoFi bear until this moment.
So, Chris, are you just thinking that they're wanting to have more loans on their books, and so they're going to do less with the loan platform business? Is that the general?
No, I mean, I kind of looked at the average financial services revenue per member. And like last quarter, it jumped from like 27 to 30. So it was like a $3 jump ish. I kind of put it at like 32.50. So I expected like a $2 jump. It really depends on. So here's what I'm not sure about. I think LPB will be strong. I'm not sure if it's going to be a huge jump like we saw last quarter, because last quarter, I think the reason that it jumped so much was because they expanded the credit box. I'm not sure how much more they're going to expand it this quarter. The one thing that and I said this in my article when I did my preview, the one thing where there could be a lot of upside that I just don't have built into my numbers at all is if they started to get into student loans or home loans through the LPB, that would be a huge deal, right? And that would make my take way too bearish. But anyway, I just kind of looked at it and I thought that seems reasonable. But then I saw the Lending Club earnings and they were really good. And so I might be low.
Dude, you know what's funny is that possibility is so real that SoFi could launch potentially one of the largest products they've ever launched, and they're not even going to talk about it. That we'll have to find out during the quarter, that whenever we go through their slides, that there's just there's an S under the category of loan platform business instead of it just being a P. And then we'll end up getting to hear some commentary on the call, but that could be announced on earnings day.
I mean, that's what happened last year. Last year, we were all doing our predictions for this, and we were all super bearish compared to the actual results. And the reason why is because nobody saw Q3 last year was the very first quarter with the lending platform business at all. And then the other crazy part is it came out and everybody on this call, we were all just blown away. And we were like, holy cow, we don't own enough shares. And then it took Wall Street another month and they're like, oh, the lending platform business is a thing and it makes money. It just petered around at $9-10 for a month. And then all of a sudden it shot up to 18.
Yeah. I remember literally talking about it being like, this changes the whole, like, this is the
Yeah.
new big thesis. And everyone's like, if it matters, why isn't the stock moving? I'm like, I don't know. And then it just started running after. Like it took them so long to realize what this means.
So a similar thing could happen this time, but I think this time Wall Street, if they see that, would get the thesis a little quicker.
Well, we actually saw earlier signs because they came out with a press release saying the loan platform business for Fortress, but we didn't really even know what that meant at the time until the call. I think the first Fortress press release came out before Q3 earnings.
Yeah.
Am I mistaken?
I think it was another forward flow deal. I don't think it was the LPB. It might have been.
Maybe.
Yeah, I would personally prefer if they, well, unless they do it on this earnings, like that they announce it when they're actually launching it, not wait. Mostly because that'll impact price action in the stock, and it'll help them possibly get those 35s or 45s even, as far as the PSUs.
Quick Blue Jays versus the LA Dodgers update. Blue Jays is now 4-2.
What sport is that, Tanner?
What?
What sport is that?
Baseball? Like I'm not
Basketball, yeah.
I'm not crazy, dude. I know it's baseball. At least I know my teams. Like I know what the Raptors are. That like
5-2. Apparently, you were wrong.
5-2. Well, okay, my thing's not updated.
Wow.
I literally just refreshed and now it says 2-3. It's gone backwards. Okay, it says 2-5 now. Technology platform revenue. I said 114 million. We're all going to be in that range.
110 million, so flat quarter over quarter.
Yeah. Devi,
I had 115.
115. Steve,
You know, you're going to think that I'm cheating, but I actually am not typing. I have everything written on a spreadsheet. 114,511,000.
Okay, but Steve, what's your FinServ first of all? Because you never answered that.
395,685,000.
good luck with that.
What? You had like such an accurate number to be so incredibly wrong. What's your
My numbers are accurate, or well, not accurate. My numbers go down to the 1,000, but I'm not.
I'm rounding to the nearest 1,000.
Listen, I'm saying they're going to come in at 988,196,000.
900. Not wait. You were at 950. Steven.
He's not adding. Do you have corporate
he's-
revenue in there?
No, I got to put corporate in negative to bring it back down to reality.
Okay.
Okay,
Okay, so you still want to stay at 950 total, but once you add your corporate,
No. I'm at 988 top. I got to give you a bottom line. Give me a sec.
okay, hold on. Give me your technology first, and then we'll
988. I love it.
114,511,000. I can text it to you if you want.
No, it's good. Chris.
I'm at 116. And just to remind everybody, last quarter I actually was the closest because everybody guided for flat, and I said that there would be some growth, and I actually ended up there. Actually, was some growth. I think that they start to get some traction. I think that there's going to be a little bit of growth, and then again, and we got into this last time, and y'all made fun of me. But the intercompany revenue, I think, is also going to be higher again this quarter because I think they're shifting more and more of their own things onto their own onto Galileo's tech platform.
We're all thinking it. I won't say it.
Nerd.
Yep. But let's get into total top line revenue. So this will include corporate revenue, which is usually a negative. Imagine it's a positive this quarter. Okay, let's go on.
It's happened before.
It has happened before. My total top line is 959.773 million.
What's your corporate? We got to work our way there.
No. You figure it out.
Tough crowd.
Work backwards.
Just tell him you're
It's 50
literally
million.
staring at your spreadsheet.
Okay, I have the same.
49727 is his corporate. I can do math, Tanner.
Wait,
Yeah,
which one?
49727 negative.
I think it should be just 50.
Well, it's because you rounded your other
Yeah,
number.
yeah.
I actually have the exact same corporate. I figured it would not be as high as last quarter, but I have no feel of that number. I know you explain it every time, Chris, what it is, and then it leaves my brain, and then I look again. I'm like, I'll just take an average and guess that it's going to be about 50 million. So that means that the top line is 967 million, which is a 39.9% year-over-year increase.
Okay. Chris, what's your corporate at?
My corporate is minus. Oh crud! I just had it.
Yeah, but no one can. Like imagine being
My
a
corporate
listener,
is
Tevis.
I'm just trying
minus
to
65 million. So my corporate
See,
is
like,
much
that's high.
lower than the rest of yours. Well, high in terms of absolute value, lower in terms of negative value. Anyway, which brings my full. So my prediction for total ANR is 950 million.
We're
Okay.
losing. People are leaving right now, listening to intercorporate revenue and everything. Let's go to the big numbers.
Yeah, 950. I just said the big number.
He did just say it, Tanner.
Steve?
I mean, you guys are like Super Bowls right now.
Didn't you say 988?
No, but that was top. That didn't include corporate. Like
Top.
top. The street is calling for 895.
The street is done.
The street was calling for 888 when I wrote my article like 3
Okay.
days ago.
Tanner.
The revenue estimate on the street is 895.15 million right now.
Yeah, it's gone up like 6 million in like the last 3 days because
So-
everybody's trying to play catch up.
Steve,
They
show
all
us-
saw our
show us an
numbers and they're
amount-
like, "Oh crap, we're way off."
Tanner, I mean,
Tanner,
Tevis,
can you
I
share my
mean,
screen?
Well, hold
Tevis,
on.
make
One
it
sec,
easy for you.
Tevis. Show on the amount of fingers that you have, Steve. How many times analysts have been right on the quarters
Every
for
time.
SoFi?
No.
Every time.
You can-
Zero time.
Like if you have no time and you're making earnings predictions, look at analyst numbers and then add something, and you'll be closer to them than analysts.
So, Tevis, here we go.
Can you throw up my screen and you have all of our numbers there?
Yeah, but,
So
but you have EPS. We didn't talk
I,
EPS.
I blocked it out. What?
Why didn't you just hide the column? Why'd you put an image over it with a black bar?
No, it's highlighted because I already
This
have.
was
the number.
highlighted in black.
Oh.
So you got to change my corporate revenue,
Okay.
Oh God.
make it negative 57.25 million.
Then you're not at 950. Okay.
You're right.
Negative
Whoa, whoa.
57 point what million?
2.5.
25.
Uh-huh.
Oops.
What?
You did something wrong, sir.
Sorry.
Oh, you summed all of
There
it.
you go.
939.46. Does
Yep.
that sound about right to you, Steve?
That sounds exactly right to me, sir.
Tevis, you're the bull there. No one's saying billion though, not yet.
I love how you got all the full numbers for Steve, but then on revenue or on lending, he's just 478 million. It's gonna be a nice round number this quarter.
All right. So basically for revenue, it's between 980 and 930. So what, like a very tight spread there. And then for members, it's between 1.05 and I'm the lowest, I guess, 955. Jesus.
Yeah, you're highest on revenue, lowest on members. Steve is highest on members and lowest on revenue. You guys need to swap numbers. Just trade top line or bottom line. I don't care. We'll make it make sense.
We'll give Tevis some time to add some averages and charts in there, make it look all nice.
Okay.
That's definitely what he's doing right now.
You can put in an average. I mean, you got that one.
Yeah. No, I can.
Google spreadsheet made it real easy for you. You just
Average.
type
would be
average.
good. Yeah.
You have to put the equal sign first.
Yeah.
Okay,
Don't forget
hold
the
on.
brackets.
Can you throw it back up?
You're done already?
Yeah, throw it back up. Okay, so this is the average column.
All right.
Bro, you weren't even done. Okay.
Why?
No, you're good now. Nice.
Where's
okay?
do you have Kyle and Neil on like the
Well,
right
I
hand
don't
side or
have.
something?
Yeah, I do, but I don't have their other numbers, so I didn't include them in the average.
Yeah.
But I
Okay.
can.
No. Just
No.
I forgot what they said. So Neil's at 940 and Kyle's at 960.
Yeah.
That blackout bar.
Well, we're gonna get to that blackout bar, but this is the average so far.
Okay, 957 million in revenue, and yeah, it's being skewed a little bit by Steve. If you took Steve out of this average, we'd be a lot closer. No, don't. Whoa, bro. Whoa. He's a part of the
Delete.
family.
That's what happens when we take Steve out.
Yeah.
971 members, 964 revenue.
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay. Before we end up doing that, let's quickly talk earnings per share. If at any point Tevis asks about adjusted EBITDA,
Well,
net income, outstanding shares, I'm going to have to log off. Okay.
so,
We're
hold
not
on.
going to go for the boring numbers. People care about the earnings per share.
Yeah, I'm gonna unblack out my row. Can you just in our private chat send me what the latest outstanding shares number is? Because that's the thing that I got wrong.
Well, we don't really know. That's the problem because
Well,
they did a big.
they have it updated on most
Can you
most
send it,
websites
Chris?
after the offering. Let me grab it. I don't have. Let me see if I can find it while everyone else is talking.
Cool. And then
Do you
guys,
mean like
It's like It's really close to 1.2 billion.
because that's gonna affect.
You can
my-
just do 1.2. That's what it rounds to.
yeah, it says 1.2 on my platform here.
The 1.20 is what I'm seeing.
Okay. Sure. Let me do that.
Really quick on the Blue Jays game, 11-2.
Wait, what?
11-2.
As in Blue Jays? Or
Blue
at
Jays.
11? Nice.
Yeah.
I'll be back in just a second.
By
the
the way,
only good thing about the Blue Jays winning is Don Manley will actually get a ring. Finally.
the people who watched my stream yesterday will also, or sorry, not yesterday, earlier at 7:00 will also say I also bet on the Jays to win. So that would make me 4 for 4. Just saying. Also, don't put any money towards this because I really don't know sports at all, and it's just good luck. Anyone can flip a quarter a couple times. It's going to happen to land on heads a couple times.
You're savant. You're just
I'll
like
take
you're like the Rain Man of sports betting.
Nah, I don't like that. I don't like that as much. I'll take the savant part. Tevis is coming over for Halloween. He's gonna like drop a bunch of toothpicks in front of me, and be like, count them.
How many jelly beans in this jar, Tanner?
Yeah. Do you like that movie, Steve?
What movie?
Rain Man.
It's very overrated.
Well, Tanner, if you want to know so badly, you should join the stream tomorrow where we're going to rank movies.
He is joining the stream.
I am invited.
You
Whoa,
gotta,
bro.
you gotta plug your channel, bro. Like this is I say as Steve is like outpacing all of us on new subscribers, talking about fucking milk and inviting chefs on their show.
His channel's already bigger than mine. He's coming for you next, Tevis, and then Tanner.
Dude,
coming
wait
for
till
me.
Tuesday night when Chef Paul comes on.
This do you like what?
Yeah, Chef
know about
Paul's
this,
coming
Tanner?
on Tuesday night. I
Yeah,
got
that's
Ty
a
Wilson from
show
Chasing
and everything.
Cardboard coming in on Sunday night. It's going to be interesting.
Earnings per share. I'm saying 12 cents, but it actually is 11.53.
Rounds up.
Rounds up.
So let me preface this number and then the next number that we'll do, which is the share price prediction. This one's a little bit less serious. The next one will be less serious as well. But you guys know my favorite number as it relates to SoFi.
11.
And since we're right there, I'm like, you know what? 11 cents EPS. Let me make sure that the adjusted EBITDA margin and adjusted EBITDA and the net income match what would give us 11 cents. So it's a little bit disingenuous, not a real guess. I do think it's going to be 11 or 12 cents, but had to do 11.
So I had 11 cents, but when I updated it to the 1.2 billion shares outstanding, it now gave me 10 cents. And I hate
Whoa, bro, that's your answer, bro. Whoa.
Yeah, I hate that I'm coming
Wait,
out.
you have the highest revenue but the lowest EPS?
Yeah.
Highest revenue, low EPS, and the lowest amount of new members. What does that mean?
He's playing 4D chess.
Yeah, it means like everyone is coming on for like.
Means they're
relay- no, like,
reinvesting in the business.
what's the lowest margin, highest revenue product?
The lowest margin, highest, like
Tech platform.
something in lending, probably.
No, but he also said lowest amount of new members.
And he also said,
I guess tech platform. Yeah, that would.
It's
that would
the
be
tech platform has the lowest contribution margin.
And we didn't do tech platform accounts.
Yeah, but he also said I think like tech platform is gonna like be flat.
Guys, don't question my ways, okay? This is there's an art to this. Chris, what you have?
I've got 11.2 cents, so it rounds down to 11.
Steve?
I'm coming in at 12 cents.
Love it.
What doesn't in the scoring for baseball? What does an X mean?
Out usually.
Okay,
You really don't watch sports, do you?
so just the whole seventh round, they're out.
The seventh round.
The seventh inning.
Just stop. Just stop.
If they're home, then they haven't. Perhaps they've not batted yet. Home team bats second. So if it's at the top of the inning, then that's
They are home.
That's what. Yeah.
Okay. All right. Are we at Steve's EPS? Sorry.
He said 12.
Cents.
12. Yeah. Chris.
I said 11.2 already.
Okay. Spreadsheet.
Yeah, just 1 second.
These used to be way more fun when we didn't know the company as well, and we were like wildly different and trying to figure out how we got to such different numbers. Now we're all so close that it's like it's not quite as fun.
And yet
Okay,
they
let's see.
still surprise us, even though we're all pretty close.
Dude, Tanner said the wildest thing the other day. He was just like, yeah, UFC's good, but UFC BJJ that's where it's at. Like the version of UFC where they can only grapple and not.
Yeah, he's been watching the Eddie Bravo Invitationals too much
And I'm
on
just
Fight
like,
Pass.
What? Like, dude, them standing and just beating the absolute living daylights out of each other. I can't curse because Chris is kidding.
Dude, I just realized why he likes BJJ so much.
Whoa, dude.
Why? Why, Steve?
That guy, Mikey, what's his last name, that eats one meal a day from
Mikey Musumeci.
yes, that's why you like BJJ so much.
I like him. He's very fun,
Well,
but
he's very talented.
very, very talented. But what are you trying to say to me right now?
I'm just trying to say, you kind of look like him, blah, blah, blah.
I'd say it to you if Chris's kid was not in the room.
So, Chris, what did you have for free cash flow?
I hate you. No, I actually didn't do an estimate for free cash flow this quarter. It's going to be really, really negative.
Why
tell
are
you
we talking about free cash flow? It's a bank. It doesn't.
We know.
matter.
That's why.
It's to mess with Chris.
What's a tangible book value?
It's a trigger word.
Yeah. It's really like I love it when somebody's still bearish on SoFi for some reason, and their argument is free cash flow. I'm like, okay. I always tag Chris though. I'm just like, it's not so much that Chris will come in and correct them; it's just to annoy Chris.
I just send him to my article. I'm like, hey, read this, and then we'll talk.
Yep. There you go.
I got to start sending people to your article.
I honestly, I at one point on one of my computers, I had it bookmarked, and I would do that. I literally have rarely bookmark things like that, but I'm like, okay, this is a tool and an asset that explains it better than I ever could. So yeah, you guys want to do price predictions?
Yeah.
Ooh.
Do we want to talk guidance real quick? Or do we just want to skip that? That's not that exciting.
I think
You also looked into guidance for Q4?
Yeah, I estimated. I had a projection for what I think they're going. I think they're going to guide pretty flat because that's what they did. So here's if you look at SoFi's guidance because they didn't. This was the first quarter ever where they didn't give Q3 guidance explicitly. They just gave the rest of the year's guidance. And if you look at it, it basically assumed that revenue was almost flat the rest of the year, and that EPS and EBITDA were almost flat from Q2 levels. I think they're going to do the same thing again. I think they'll guide for just marginally higher than what they get this quarter, but it's still going to be, because analysts are so low, it'll still look like it's beating the analysts by a lot because they're off. I think they're off by like 50 million ish at least in revenue this quarter and like 2 or 3 cents of EPS.
Okay, so do we want to do that? Like lower, flat, or raise guidance for next quarter?
Beat and raise.
They'll raise, but it won't be as it'll be mostly flat from Q3 would be my guess. Like in an extra 5 or 10 million is what they'll probably tack on.
I think that they might raise a little bit more than you're expecting, Chris, just because there's a high degree of confidence that we have 2 more rate cuts. I know one of those doesn't impact them. Well, it can. It can actually be a demand lever that draws things forward, especially if we're expecting a bit of a pause from the Federal Reserve, which currently is consensus for a little while after that. But yeah, we'll see.
Yeah, and I also think that they need to make sure that people know that the dilution was worth it. I think that they're going to really ramp guidance just to prove that like this is what they did it for. If that makes sense. Okay. So not guidance, but price change by close. What is SoFi going to close out at?
Tuesday close, right?
Tuesday close. Do you want to do price number or percent change? Because we don't really know what the
want to do. What's the stonk at by Tuesday 4 p.m. Just
that's the problem. We don't really know, right?
That's why it's fun.
Oh, sorry. You're right. If
we knew,
and I'll go first.
No, I just
Josh has the right number. Josh, $33. That's where I'm at. It's a multiple of 11, therefore it's correct.
Okay. 33 for Roy. You're writing this down, Tevis?
yeah, Roy's like answer to the universe here. Okay.
You're going to be the official stenographer of the Fintech Fridays show.
Go ahead, Tanner.
I got a crack out of Steve there. I saw him laughing, but I only saw him laughing through his eyes. Nothing. Look at him. He like his face stays still, but his eyes smile.
You're so ridiculous.
Okay. I don't want to go first. Someone else go.
I already went.
Roy already went.
Yeah. So now back to you, Tevis.
3150. Christopher.
Let's do 3301.
3301. Price is right,
Nice
Roy.
rated, man.
Steven, $45.
1923.
No, like seriously, Steve. 1923?
I mean, good TV show.
Do you know it's 2901 right now?
Year, but
I don't know. Is it really going to stay positive after the initial pop? That's the question.
is it going to be an initial pop? If they report over 1 million members, maybe.
Yeah, if they report over 1 million members, I think this goes to 33. If it doesn't, I can see this doing 2650 or 27.
I'm seeing my the people watching right now climbing. I think everyone left Steve's thing after he said going to 19. They're like, oh gosh.
It was a joke.
No. I was joking as well.
I'm gonna say that we end at $30.72.
Got it. Tanner?
What'd you say? 27?
$30.72. I think the earnings are gonna be good enough to keep the momentum.
I'm gonna have to say 31.51. I think that's just like how much I think it's gonna be.
Okay. Cool, man. Great
So,
number.
and while you're typing that up, Tevis, can you throw this up real quick? So this is the earnings that happen each quarter. And last quarter, amazing beat year over year, ridiculous numbers. It did come against a weaker comp. Now, they still were rewarded. You look at what the stock has done. You look at what analysts have talked about. And so it wasn't like there was an asterisk put there. But I still think that there is at least part of one. And if they come up with numbers, and we looking at the consensus, it's a little bit under 40%. My numbers are close to 40%. Some of us are above. If they're right around that figure, I think the 40% is like a psychological level that if they hit or they get very close, so it's just within a rounding up of like 39.5 or so, that is going to be highly meaningful. That people that looked at SoFi's numbers last quarter against a weaker comp, and they're like, yeah, but they'll not do 40% again, and they do it. I think that is going to contribute positively to price momentum, even though we've seen a bit of a run up this week into earnings as well.
I really think, barring anything happening over the weekend that potentially sink the market, that Monday is going to be a good day. I think people hopefully will be excited about earnings. But then once they actually see earnings, this is sort of coming from a couple different angles. So one, usually our predictions as retail analysts are a little bit more bullish than Wall Street, and we usually come in more bullish than even the high side analysts. That's not the case this time. Devin Ryan, I think, is higher on his predictions than most of us, or I think he's right around our average. On revenue, he said 971 million, which is extremely high, 12 cents of EPS.
So the high before he put that out was, sorry, I've got it here. The high before Devin Ryan put that out was 935.
Yeah.
And then he came out and he was way higher and moved up the average quite a bit.
Yeah. FOMC is next day. That's Wednesday, which could also lead SoFi to be even higher.
Well, and then doesn't Trump meet with Xi on Thursday or something?
That's going to be...
So like next week is going to be, I don't know if I can sell call. Like, I don't know if I'll sell calls on anything next week. There's so much going on.
So wait, across the board, you guys think across the board, SoFi is going to see a historical high on Tuesday?
I think so.
Barring macro, yes.
Barring macro.
I think it's different. So every other earnings previously, like the stock, the sentiment around the stock is just different now than it used to be, right? Like it, and this was something that I said, I mean, it's going back to, when was it? Oh, it was when we did the, is SoFi a tech company with Amit and with Steve? And afterwards we were just chatting, like the four of us. Mm-hmm. And something that I said, I think Amit asked me the question. He's like, what's going on? Like, why doesn't the stock move? And I, like, at that point I had said, I said, I've kind of come to the conclusion that there's a real possibility that Wall Street will just always, this will be one of those names that just stays undervalued, right? Like, despite the fact that they continue to put up great numbers, that it'll always trade less than what I consider its fair value. But it seems like that has shifted in a big way recently. And so like a lot of times names like this, right, that all of a sudden start to catch a bid, they then continue to catch a bid. And whereas previously, again, I'm just like guessing here, right? But previously it was like every single time there was a sell-off after earnings, after last earnings, there was like a tiny like even with the fact that they raised they did the equity raise and it still continued to go up after that. Like it was the type of price action we're seeing now is more like the sentiment is positive and it's more momentum. Before it was like the momentum kept it down. There was like inertia and gravity that kept it where it was. Now it seems like the momentum is a lot more positive.
Steve, do you think that you'll ever be adding shares to this company anytime soon?
No.
He talked about the other day getting out of SoFi.
I may sell half my position, actually.
Why?
Before or after earnings?
No, not right now. But look, here's where I'm at. I don't think that they're going to hit 45 in June. I think they'll hit the 35 tranche. I think 45 to 50 is going to be very hard for them to get to in the near future. I don't think that they're going to do what Robinhood did on upside. And for me, I have some things in my mind that I want to use the money for. And I think taking some of the chips off the table on profitability is a good move for me if it's around 35.
Would you put that money into BM&R?
That is not something I'm looking at. I'm not even saying because I've never talked about what I am buying, and I don't want to talk about it unless I actually am going to buy it.
Steve's here. He's going to move the market if he talks about it.
Yeah.
No, I don't want to talk about something like that unless I actually put the money in.
But you are actively buying BM&R, right?
I am actively buying BM&R, yeah, but that's not why I would sell part of my SoFi position.
He was talking up Verizon earlier, so
it's not Verizon, but I do like Verizon for next.
Like to Steve's point, like I think with the sentiment where it is, and if we get some macro tailwinds like a Santa Claus rally or something like this, if SoFi does break above 30 and can hold it, next week or in the next 2 weeks, and you get a Santa Claus rally, like I don't understand how they can't hit 45. Like you're just going to be riding on so much momentum there that you're going to be entering the Q4 earnings at the end of January in the mid 30s, maybe even higher 30s. Like if all goes well, then I think you have a lot of time left on the clock for 45 in June or in March, whatever.
Do the four of you think that they're going to get 45 in June for the RSUs or PSUs, whatever the hell they are?
I think we discussed this last week. We handicapped it, right?
Yeah. No, I mean, there's a chance that they don't, but I just think that like it's so early in the game and they still have a fighting chance is what I'm trying to say.
I think the odds are incredibly good. I mean, more than 50% of touching 45 at some point before then. They need the weighted average, which is the problem, and time is not on their side. And they guide conservatively. They do silly things like not announce that they're spinning off the loan platform business right when they're doing that. So I would say odds of them getting 45 is not high, but us seeing 45 is. Especially by the end of next year. So, and Chris typed it. I'm going to say it. We're in price discovery territory, in essence, especially if it moves. I mean, all-time high. I mean, that's what stocks do. This is a stock that is very volatile as well. It can surprise us in a hurry. And we've seen we're in the middle of a bull market. They are in a sector right now that has tremendous tailwinds. A lot of other banks have posted crushing, ridiculous numbers. Lending Club, certainly not a bank, also amazing numbers as well. We know the numbers for SoFi.
Lending Club is a bank.
Lending Club is a bank.
Yeah, it's sorry, you're right. I don't know what I was thinking there, but yeah, regardless, all these things are on their side, along with sentiment has shifted, and we can see them go from a position where they're chronically undervalued to overvalued. I don't know that we're there yet. I think that it's in the fair value range still for me, but yeah, that wouldn't be shocking. I'm not calling for it, but I'm just saying I think it's 35 is it's not wrong on your side, Steve, and for our audience, it's not wrong to take gains. I took profit on January 2026 options just because there's not much time left, and those are up massively anyway. But for me personally, I don't plan to take any more gains for a while. I think.
Yeah, I mean, look, I haven't sold a single share of SoFi, and I have a lot of shares. And it's one of those things where I wouldn't mind taking 50% off the table because, one, I don't think they're hitting 45 by June. I hope they do, because that would benefit all of us. 2, I certainly don't think they're hitting 58 and doubling by the end of next year. And what I'm looking at, I think, has the potential to double next year.
I mean, they've
So I'm
got
looking at it from an opportunity cost for me.
the S&P 500 inclusion, I think, is almost like it's going to happen in 2026. It seems, I mean, you don't want to say 100%, right? But I would put it at 95% confidence that I
And
have.
that's
that
why I
this
would
is
keep
like,
half my position.
but, and the other thing is, if they keep doing what they're doing right now, and they haven't even launched like several of the, so crypto's coming back, it's still not back yet. They actually haven't even lost. Remember when they talked about interest-only personal loans? I
Mhm.
actually haven't even seen those yet. They're still going to be rolling out. We know they're going to get student loans and home loans into the LPB at some point very, very soon. Like there's a lot of things that they have going for them in the next 12 months that could push them a lot higher fundamentally, not just sentiment.
And rate cuts.
Yeah, and rate cuts. Yeah, but and there's a bunch of rate cuts coming, and I don't think the housing market is going to be great. I think that because shelter inflation is still a big part of the CPI, it's a huge part, and it's still high. Like most of the core inflation is in shelter. I don't think that's going up next year, and I think that that's going to lead to I think that we're going to be in a pretty decent disinflationary period, and that we continue to get these nice, slow, steady rate cuts, which is exactly what SoFi needs.
Yeah, I mean, here's the only thing that would convince me to not take money off the table is if the premiums in the option market get lucrative enough where I can manufacture income to do what I want to do without having to put fresh capital in the market.
Which could very well be the case.
If they get over 40, it could definitely be the case.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Get into the
Or if
S&P.
BMR can get over 65.
I mean, if they get like 75 cents of EPS in 2026, that means that at $30 today, they're trading at a forward peg of 0.42.
Yeah, it's pretty low.
Like that's still pretty low.
Pretty low.
Like they could be at 60 and be trading at a peg of 1.
Yeah.
And what was the range that Noto gave? They said, 55 to 80 cents for 2026?
Yeah, 55 to 80.
55 to 80.
They're gonna have to raise, obviously, and they're gonna raise it at the end of January.
But I mean, I think it's likely that they'll get like 37 this year. 37 to 39 is probably reasonable.
You think they can hit 37 end of this year? So 2 months?
Yeah, well, no. I'm not saying for the quarter. I'm saying for full year.
He's saying EPS, right?
Yeah, EPS, like the full year
okay.
EPS would be, I think we get 37 to 39 ish.
Yeah.
Which is wild because if you guys remember at the beginning of the year, I was like 45 and 25, and you guys were like, yeah, you're crazy because they were guiding for like what, 23, 24.
Yeah, I think they guided for like 26 or 27 or something.
It's just insane.
Still trying to justify it. You're still not even, it's not going to happen.
It could happen. It could happen.
I think 38 cents though. I do think 38. They're going to have double beats or triple beats, but then also I think the capital raise is going to factor into the growth. And I think that's where you're going to see a really big guidance increase for Q4 is because that was not factored in. And I think they did that on purpose, doing the capital raise right after earnings. The real question is, do they do another capital raise this quarter?
I think if they do, this will probably be their last one before June. Because I know like that tanks stock momentum, it tanks stock price action. Yeah, we're back up.
It affects the stock price.
It does, yeah. And they need that weighted average to be above certain levels. So they would, in essence, be saying, "Hey, I'm going to shoot myself in my own foot." So I think they'll probably wait for 35s to be secure, or give them at least the best chance to have those. 45s are still a stretch. But yeah, if they do it now, it wouldn't shock me.
It's kind of funny. Like, I want to give Roy a hard time for his comments last time they raised money, but he's somewhat vindicated because the stock price is so much higher now than it was when they actually raised.
And Chris wasn't with us through those, so I felt like one man
I
against the
was
world.
unfortunately on vacation, or I would have been on on Team Roy. I did write a full article about it.
Yes, yeah. Chris and I were on the same, and had similar thoughts on it too. So this wouldn't annoy me nearly as much. If they did it, it's like, well, it's accretive no matter what. They're going to use it to accelerate the business. Long term, it's a great thing. Short term, it's not fun in terms of price action, but yeah.
They don't. The thing is that now, since they just raised, like doing a raise now actually isn't as beneficial, because you have to use the capital you already have, like that extra buffer. They've already got a big buffer, and it's going to take them time to like eat away at that capital, or not eat away at it, but to utilize it. Right? They can't utilize all that capital in one quarter. You can't just like grow the balance sheet by like $7 billion in a single quarter.
Well, we'll
And
see.
so it's
can
going
try.
to take it's going to take, well, I guess you could, but it would be, that's not how they roll, right? SoFi is not a company that does growth at all costs, get out over your skis. That's not their strategy.
Well,
So
can-
it's going
can
to
we-
take them at least a year or so, at the bare minimum, a year to get to the point where they even think about raising more capital, in my opinion,
So
unless they're like buying something.
if you guys don't mind, can we spend just a couple more minutes just talking about specifically that? So they have these tranches, PSUs, that they're hoping to get based on a weighting average from 25s, which are extremely likely 35s, pretty likely 45s. I don't think any of us are like, yeah, this is a given. Do you think that they change strategically anything that they would normally do in the business beyond possibly just not doing any more capital raises, or maybe just one more like right now? Are they going to change like the way that they guide, or are they going to change the way that they aggressively lend, or anything like that?
I could see them being more aggressive in their guidance leading into June 26. Like, I think there's some like game theory there where they're like the closest equivalent you would get to them pumping the stock, because they're naturally conservative in their DNA. But like, it's 3 quarters from now. You have January, and then you have 1 quarter in 26, and then the next one is
The next one's already after the
Yeah,
the time
exactly.
frame.
So 3 quarters, including this one that's coming up on Tuesday. So two remaining quarters. I could see them being bullish on guidance, and then I think they have an opportunity to naturally be bullish on guidance because they have the end of year wrap up, and so it gives them an opportunity to do 2 things. Number one, raise the guidance from 55 to 80 cents that they had for 26 to a higher range, and then that will force analysts to adjust upwards. And then number 2, provide that 2-year or 3-year outlook again, so they can say, okay, we're raising it for 26. By the way, here's our 2028 guidance number. Like how they did it for 2026, right? Because it was a couple years out when they did it. I think I could see something like that happening to essentially push them higher so that they can hit their highest tranche. And it's relatively harmless because they're guiding out for so far out, and I think there's a large spread there.
Yeah, I don't know. I thought that they'd be a little bit more ambitious with their 2025 guidance when they reported like this last January, for that same reason. Because at that point, like the stock was kind of in the mid-teens, and it was like, you kind of got to hit these tiers because you're going to hit resistance levels, and it's going to take a while for it to go up. And so I actually thought they'd be a little bit more bullish and a little bit less conservative when they did 2025 guidance. And they were once again just like, hey, we're going to have a 30% tax rate, and like all the things that they were just as conservative as always. So I don't know, like there is that incentive there. I agree with you, Tevis. It just didn't happen this year when I expected it.
I do think that they're going to ramp, especially for Q4, and then they're going to beat that guidance as well. But I hope 2026 closes the gap and they try to rush for those PSUs, and then Steve can sell or whatever.
Do you
And
think
you know what?
Yeah, go ahead to finish your thing.
No, I was just gonna say that's at every we can joke about Steve doing that, but he had bought into this company at an extremely low price. And if he even accumulated some shares, some purchases at under $4.50, that's a 10x. Like if he ends up getting to 45. So it's been an amazing purchase, and anyone that wants to take profits on something that has done that well in their portfolio is to their own right. Yeah. But if you believe this is a compounder for many, many more years, don't think that growth just stops now. I mean, compounding is the snowball effect really does have momentum over time. Maybe we won't hold up these growth rates forever, but
Look, it's not easy to stay in something when you're up a lot on it. Like, and don't get me wrong, I'm still in stuff like Meta from a decade ago, maybe longer. Not easy to hold it, but I'm not getting out of it. There's just other things I think are going to do better than SoFi. I don't know.
Is this
I
a
need
taxable account for you, Steve?
what I need this quarter or next quarter is I need to see a lot of movement on the freaking tech platform. And I need to see that they win some RFPs. I will change my mind at that point.
You're going to see that in Q1 26. We already know that.
Yeah.
We'll see. I want some commentary. I like that. If that happens, I'll change my tune. Say I'm staying until 50 or 60 at that point.
But it's a catch-22, man, because if we believe they're going higher than 35 between now and Q1 26, which is in March, right? Then you're already going to be out. And then the next quarter after you're out, they're going to be like, here's some new tech platform deals. Because they don't report Q1 26 until, what, March or something like that? February. April. So
we'll see where it's at.
Yeah, basically for their PSUs, Q4's earnings in January are the last time that they have to really do something to get the stock to move for those to vest, because it'll be too late by the time it's at the end of April, right? It's not going to. I mean, if you've got 90 trading days, there's only like 20 trading days in a month, so you really need it by the end of you need, like, the Q4 earnings are going to be the big one for that.
My personal thought, as far as if they're going to change anything other than not doing any more capital raises, which I think is probably they're not going to. If they do, whatever, they'll do it now. But I think that they're going to keep everything else the same. Noto tends to be conservative. Now his communication style and his confidence is like at all-time highs, at least as it relates to SoFi. So that's a really good side too. But I don't know. I would have thought that if they're going to start increasing guidance and being a little bit less conservative, which frankly they probably should have, that would have started a couple of quarters ago. We've not seen it. And you're right, Chris. If we don't see it this quarter, I'd say probably they're not just going to be like, oh, we'll be very, very cautious. And then in January, we're going to be like, just rip off the Band-Aid and go. I don't think so. But I'd love to be wrong.
So, do we want to wrap there?
Are there any questions, I guess, from the chat that people are like dying to ask us before earnings come out?
Well, they said one thing that I actually thought was interesting. They said a lot of things are interesting, but one thing I think is interesting to get your opinions on. They said a lot of people were buying in the mid-teens and averaged down when it went under double digits. So that means they're averaging down when it was $8, $7, $6. Do we think that if it pumps on Tuesday and holds, at least on Tuesday, people are going to take profits next week because they'll effectively be up a lot?
Always.
I mean, some people will, but
I saw on the way up.
Buyers. Go ahead, Tanner. Sorry.
No, I cut you off. I saw on the way up that, like, people saw this in a range. Like, this was a range bound stock. And so whenever it went up to $13, they were like, oh my gosh, it's going back down to $6. I'm going to sell now. And then it went up to 15, 16. People started selling there. I saw a bunch of comments, people selling at 18. Once it broke 20, people sold. Once it hit, like people that I recognize in chat, people selling at 22, 24. They can't believe these prices. Now we're at 29. Like, there's always going to be selling. I don't know if that necessarily justifies anything. I think that, like, it's going to matter if they can continue to accelerate growth, which is what they're doing, and expanding margins. They demand a higher premium. We've seen it from every growing name.
Those shares are going to be bought up by somebody else, and somebody who has been buying SoFi for the first time at 26 or 28, or will be buying at 30 after they get new results, like you're just going to get new layers of investors coming in.
How many people in chat either learned about or started buying their shares recently above $20 per share in chat? Just say me, one, whatever you want. Let me know.
So the four of you, look at the private chat and just don't say the name, but say yes or no if you've even heard of that.
No.
Okay.
No.
Nope.
That smile that came on Steve's face. He's like, I have alpha.
I own that stock.
You
Yeah,
do not
there's,
own
like-
it. You definitely do not own it.
I
There's
promise.
like
you I do.
dozens of people saying me right now.
I promise and swear on everything that I own that stock.
Are you serious?
Yes, but it's in my community portfolio, and I probably own $6 of it. But yes,
Okay. So it's not something that you came up with.
no, I don't even know what it is.
You want something you don't know what it is?
I'm pretty sure that's a quantum name. No,
No.
Yeah, there's no way that Steve is interested in a quantum name.
No, quantum's there. Look, quantum. Nobody's going to convince me that one of these little companies like Rigetti is going to figure out something before Alphabet or IBM. It's just not.
Can I tell a story? Actually, this will be a really interesting story for I think everyone. So I work in chemical engineering, right? And we work on a carbon capture project. There is in Google, there are senior fellows. There's only like 2 or 3 of them. And then there's something called a Google Fellow. There's only about a dozen of those in the entirety of Google. So these are like the tip top best people. One of them came to visit us at our office because he heard about our company and got in touch with the founder of my company and like came and talked to us. And we had this fascinating discussion. And he's in charge of applied sciences at Google. And like I work with some pretty exceptionally like intelligent people. This guy blew us all completely away. And he was like, we were talking about quantum computing and other things during that time. Like the talent that Google has there is nuts. I'm 100% with Steve on this one. I can't see any way that like any of these qubits and all these quantum names that are trying to do, I don't think they have the talent, and they certainly don't have the capital to be able to compete with Google.
I
And
couldn't
like,
agree with Chris more.
yeah,
They-
like
the
if you want a
fact-
Google exposure or if you want quantum exposure, buy Google.
Google
Yep.
or IBM. I mean, the bottom line is both of those companies have been working on quantum for at least 5 to 10 years, if not longer. They have a blank checkbook approach, and they can get the smartest and brightest people to work on it. There is no way that these other companies are going to make quantum breakthroughs when they're not able to. 1, 2, they don't even have an outlet to freaking sell the products and generate revenue. That whole industry is ridiculous. So no, it's not quantum name. And if you guys in the private chat just read the little blurb I put and look at what this CEO has done, this is very interesting. Especially when you think about the whole data center build out that's going to happen over the next couple of years, and you look into what this company is. I'm going to do a whole video and article on it in the next week or 2.
Quantum accelerating QPU. No, it could be interesting, man. I don't know. I'm not really into IonQ, but if you're into it, that's
Obviously, it's not that.
Can I say a quick word? I am going to cover SoFi live with the guys. Last quarter, I didn't. PayPal reports at the same time. This quarter, I feel like it's more important for SoFi's narrative than PayPal. PayPal will probably be Q4 when I cover it live instead. So, but I'll do earnings predictions if I know I saw a couple of comments. That'll come out on Sunday.
Ladies and gentlemen, thank you all so much for watching this show.
Are we doing after hours?
What?
Are we doing after hours?
Yes.
We
All
are.
right, so I'll talk about it on the after hours then.
This is an historic episode because historic. Zero gone. Anyway, all 5 of us are streaming on YouTube. These are the people at the bottom, officially YouTubers now, and growing quite quickly. So if you're interested in hearing more from Steve, Chris, make sure you check out their channels. But until next time, thank you all so much for watching.
Wait, we're gonna be streaming earnings Tuesday morning, 6:55 a.m. on all 5 channels. Dude, like,
I'm learning, bro. I'm brand new to this. We are all going to be streaming on
Make sure to join.
Tuesday at 6:55 a.m. Eastern Standard Time. Okay? Really do appreciate your time. Bye for now. SoFi
Later,
earnings.